Everybody, welcome to Jets post-game overtime, an exclusive live stream on SNY.TV where our guys will hand out their full report cards from the game and much more. We will hear from Revis as well. Of course, the Jets lose 41-3 to the Patriots. Jonas Schwartz alongside Ray Lucas, the coach Mike Westhoff, and Chad Cascadden. Let's get to the grades, and let's start with the offense. Ray, what are you giving the offense? Why do I get the sense you're going to give me that look for every segment here? F. All right. Mike.
I failed them also. Turnovers, lack of being able to run the ball. Bilal Powell, the only positive aspect. And the drop passes were so discouraging.
Ridiculous.
Really, a quarterback should really be a little frustrated because there were some fairly good throws that were totally just dropped.
Chad?
You know, I gave him an F too, Coach. And I looked at those drops and said, you know, New England didn't seem to have that problem. I wonder if they dumped the ball in a tank during the week, which is what Belichick used to do when he was at the Jets. I wonder if the Jets prepared for that. CBS said that Petty had never played in the rain before.
That's impossible.
Insane.
That's impossible.
That's incredible. That's insane. So you look at all these things. They looked unprepared. The offensive line didn't look like they knew what they were doing. And the drop passes, this is an F.
And so you mentioned that. With the way this offense is looking, who should be the quarterback next week? If Bryce Petty's healthy, should it be Christian Hackenberg? No doubt in your mind.
Hackenberg.
So you think the Jets should go against?
First of all, Bryce Petty, you know, he said his shoulder popped out in our show, on our you know, post-game show. He said his shoulder popped out. There is no reason to start, you know,
Bryce Petty.
Fitzpatrick. I mean, it has to be. It has to be.
You agree, Coach?
Yes, I absolutely agree. Bryce didn't look very good. You know, he was holding his shoulder. He looked like General Wainwright that led the Death March. I'm tough on how they look sometimes. That's I read a lot, so I know those names. And I want to see Christian. I want to see him have a chance. I really want to see it.
I don't care how bad.
Can't get any worse.
Look,
how about that?
I don't care how bad his mechanics are. You know what? Make him throw left-handed.
Yeah.
I don't care. He's a second-round pick. He's not a baby. Put him in the game. Let's see what he's got.
It can't get any worse, Jonas. It cannot get any worse.
And you're not going to destroy this kid's confidence in the game.
All right, let's get to the defense. Chad, what grade are you giving the defense?
This is an F. They're not prepared. Look, they could get no pressure on Tom Brady. Tom Brady had 3 to 5 seconds every single time. No pressure. The linebackers couldn't seem to cover. David Harris, another pass over him, another pass to the running back. Darren Lee didn't do a good job. And in the backfield, it just looked like a bunch of the same thing we've seen throughout this entire year. Everybody off coverage, letting people catch it in front of them. F.
Mike?
I failed them also. Miscommunication, improper technique, no one really getting to the quarterback or even pressuring the quarterback. Nothing different. Never saw a blitz look. Don't know how if they could play man-to-man. I didn't see much of it. And the zone was a loose zone. Really just not very well done at all.
Ray? Are you going to just look at me? Not knowing look.
F.
All right.
11 of 18 on third down.
Yeah, that's
11 of 18 on third down. F.
All right. Revis, of course, a big part of that defense. Here he is in the locker room.
Before the game, after what happened yesterday.
You know what? It was actually great to see him. Make the trip up here. I mean, it just falls into all the things that's been happening with this team this year, with the injuries. It just feels like it's something else going on, or it's always something going on, and it was good. I mean, besides football, I mean, health is the most important thing. I mean, yeah, we do play this game, but anybody's health in this locker room, it's whether if you have to walk away from the game or whatever, how severe it is. But it was good to see him. It was definitely good to see him. It definitely was.
How would you assess the Patriots as like a playoff team or as a possible Super Bowl champion?
They clinched the playoffs, right?
Yeah, they clinched their berth, but I mean, they're going on and winning in the playoffs.
They're going to the playoffs, so that's enough said.
You played against a lot of Patriots teams, though, and there's just like 6 years in a row, 12, 13 wins, another 13-win season. You played for 12 games. I remember Bart Scott after the 2010 game, you came in here and said they were a one-man team, they weren't going to beat us. Not saying this is a one-man team, but is this team, Patriots team, better, tougher than maybe that team you guys came in and beat 2010?
I can't sit there and say that. I mean, they are a great team. I mean, they've, Tom and Bill has done well. What their winning percentages and winning games. So when you consistently win, you know, it's contagious. And they've been doing it for so many years. So, you know, you don't expect anything less sometimes, you know, when those guys win so much. So I've been a part of it in 2014, 2015 season. And, you know, when you win like that, it's a great feeling. You know everybody's, you know, buying in and love to play football and want to win games. And you can see that never stops. Just the passion and the love for the game. The guys are out there playing their asses off for each other, and they're winning games. And I think that's the formula.
All right, that was Darrelle Revis with the reporters in the locker room. Let's go to special teams as we continue with our grades. Mike, what'd you give the special teams?
I failed them because in some crucial areas they really failed. Nick misses an easy field goal. Edwards starts off punting in the middle of the field, but then toward the end, he did hit some nice balls to the sideline. I saw a little something there. The return game is very inefficient. You just have to know. I used to spend my whole pre-game watching the other kicker, everything he did when he kicked off. I never act like I'd watch. That's all I studied. And I knew exactly where he was going to kick the ball. Most of our returns were all done check with me. I called them all from the sideline. You know he's going to hit that short kick to the left side. Get your guys over there in front, catch it, and run it down their throat. At the end of the ball game, when they think you're going to onside, they had 10 guys up and you kick it deep. Do not kick it in the end zone. They only have one guy back there. Put it back inside the 10 somewhere and pin them in the hole. The little things like that are what they're not doing.
3.9 now for Mike? 3.9. That's my question.
I could.
Let me get to Chad first on the grade. I'm sorry.
Let me work my numbers right here.
The numbers are climbing quicker every week. Maybe you should wait until the end of the season. Same thing, F. I'd like to see some more creativity.
Yes, please.
They just don't feel like they're being bland. They're being just sort of one-dimensional. And knowing that you're not going to the playoffs, why not try something a little bit different? And like Coach said, when you see these things and you key on these things, take advantage of those situations and take advantage of the personnel. And it just doesn't seem like they're doing that.
Ray, I'm sorry.
Todd Bowles said, and I quote, "The reason why Hackenberg didn't dress because he wanted to put more guys on special teams."
So you quoted it.
F. I mean, really. I mean, you hear what
it didn't help.
Yeah.
More guys on special teams? Did you see anything different on special teams?
No.
It can only be one guy anyway.
That's what I'm saying. You only put one guy. But here's the other thing. I could probably get Mike back down to 2.8. We got to do this quickly. We got to get it done quickly because, you know.
That's a year-end sale right there.
At 2.8.
That's a Christmas Eve sale.
I got him almost down to 900,000. 2.8, we're good to go. Give me a shout when you can.
I think market forces are driving his price up, Ray, not down.
No. Mike is right. You heard what he said. He's always diagnosed it. He knew where the kick was going. I'm sitting down with them downstairs. Right. I'm cursing a lot. Chad's cursing a lot. And Mike's always kind of cool-headed. And I'm telling you, 2.7. I got it done. 2.8. I'll give him, you know, I got to make my commission.
Let's get the coaching. Mike, what'd you give the coaches?
I failed them also because I really feel for Todd Bowles. I was upset last night when I heard about it. I thought it was a stress thing, and thank goodness it was something else, and hope it does work itself out. I liked his courage. He's a fighter. He gets there. He's doing what he can do. But yet there are so many areas that they're just not. They're showing the same inconsistencies, and that needs to improve. They're going to have to take a long, hard look at it.
Ray?
Yeah, I felt them as well. And like I said, I'm really glad that, you know, everything turned out to be okay. I mean, he's obviously in some pain, you saw on our post-game show. But, you know, when you look at this defense as a whole, you know, and you look at the offense as a whole, again, I'll go back to what's this identity? And that has to start with all those coaches on that sideline to figure out what they need to do to get these guys in the right position to make plays. So to me, this isn't an F for Todd Bowles. This is an F for all the coaches on that sideline.
I feel that too.
Chad?
Yeah, so I'm an F. And, you know, just little things like why would you call that timeout with a little bit of time left in that second quarter where then Belichick said, oh, you're going to call a timeout? All right, watch me now. I'm going to score a touchdown. And then at the end of the game, why are you kicking a field goal down by 41 points?
Agree.
You know what? It's fourth down. You're on the 15, 20-yard line. Go for the end zone. See if you can make it. It just feels as if maybe they're just dumbing things down because they do have a lot of moving parts, and so they want to make sure everybody's on the same page. But in the end, this is the NFL. And you've got a game plan every week to take strengths away and make other people do what's uncomfortable. And clearly other coaches and other teams have done that to the Jets, and the Jets have not done it to them. This is enough.
I mean, and Chad said this before, which I even wrote it down. Perception is reality. Perception is reality. What we see out there is really happening. It's reality. The Jets are, what, 4-win team.
They are who they are.
And they are who they are.
Well, and
how you're playing is a direct reflection of how you're preparing and practicing.
Exactly.
well, Jets and the Bills will round things out January 1st at MetLife Stadium. Two coaches who are being evaluated right now, probably.
That's a really good point, because whoever wins this game might be able to keep their job.
What do you expect out of this game?
I'm serious.
It could be.
Whoever wins this game might have a real chance of keeping their job, because, listen, as much as I like Todd Bowles, primetime losses as he's taken haven't been good. But Rex Ryan, I thought he was going to be fired a couple of weeks ago. But those kids are playing for him down there, even though they lost today against Miami. If he doesn't win the next game, I'm
an overtime game. So a good hard fight.
I'm guaranteeing you Rex Ryan's going to get fired next week.
Mike, what do you expect out of next week?
I think it's going to be a good fight. I mean, I've been saying this, though, and I've been disappointed when it hasn't happened. But I do think I kind of like what Mo Wilkerson said at the end. I took them of every interview that we had, that impressed me the most. And I've been really extremely disappointed in him. But he talked about, playing at the end and showing that this football team can do something and to try to put it together. I hope he steps up in front of the football team and expresses that message, and I also hope he performs that way.
I mean, he had 7 tackles, sack, forced fumble today. He did not play bad.
No, he didn't. I liked what he did.
Hey, the Bills match up pretty well against the Jets. They've got good personnel, and Rex Ryan's got a little thing about going after the Jets. Don't you think he won't have this team ready? This is going to be a tough one for the Jets.
How much does it mean for you guys and how you evaluate not just Todd Bowles, but everybody on the Jets? The effort, the slow starts. They say the effort is still there, but they've been blown out of a lot of these games. How much does how the Jets look matter to you next week?
Like I said, I've always said this. You're not playing for playoffs. You got to play for pride. You can't let the guy standing next to you, the guy standing in front of you, the guy standing behind you, and let him down with lack of effort. And you could actually see it on the field, which is very puzzling to me, number one, and it's very sad, number two, because, listen, we bleed together, we work together, we put all these hours in. It was a lot more hours when I played than it is now when they played, but this is what we do. We're trying to be a common goal, and the only goal really is to win. That's it, to win.
This is the National Football League. In my opinion, it's the most prestigious sport that there is. It's the toughest to play. The quarterback position is the toughest thing to play in sport. I don't care any sport. And you're involved in a National Football League. It's an incredible sense of pride.
Yeah.
You can't buy your way out of that tunnel. You earn your way out, whatever role you're in. And you should be giving 100% every second.
Effort doesn't equal results. You can give as much effort as you want, but if you're not winning, I'm sorry. There's going to be some evaluations. There's going to be some cuts, and it's going to be in the coaching staff. It's going to be on the players. And I'm not sure if it's going to be McCagnon, but don't you think Woody Johnson's going to look at this very seriously and make some tough decisions?
All right, so you can tell our guys have plenty to keep their eye on in next week's game against the Bills. For Chad Cascadden, Mike Westhoff, Ray Lucas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the live stream of Jets Postgame Overtime. Bookmark SNY.TV and thejetsblog.com for more coverage and analysis of today's game. We will see you next time. Happy holidays.